Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 16th of January for the Sun or the Ascendant. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to give you a broad overview of what to expect before diving deep to give you in forensic detail all the key influences for each of the 12 zodiac signs. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me once more. New to my channel, it's great to have you with me, and I'd be honoured if you'd subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Now this week is very powerful. The Sun is side by side with Pluto for the whole of this week, but across two different zodiac signs. And this is very symbolic because for the last 15 years, Pluto has been making its way through the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is very much about the established order, big business, big government, big organisations, but big money. Now, the sign of Aquarius is much more about the collective, but also individuality. There's a duality in the sign of Aquarius. Pluto is about transformation. And because it's getting to the end of its journey in Capricorn, which is going to happen basically in 3 stages, it will finally move fully into the sign of Aquarius on the 19th of November 2024. But of course it goes there for 11 weeks this year, 38 weeks in the following year. And what we're seeing is a big shift. And that really starts to show itself this week. This is why this week is so potent. And of course there is then on Saturday, a new moon in the sign of Aquarius, forging a disassociate conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn. But that Plutonian energy can reveal secrets. It's also about deep power that's not necessarily very obvious. It can be about more sinister activities, of course. This week also sees Mercury go direct on Wednesday, Uranus direct on Sunday, but Mercury doesn't emerge from its post-retrograde shadow until the 7th of February. But it does forge a beautiful alliance with the North Node this week, which can be helpful, but a much less helpful one with Mars. Mars now going forwards in the sign of Gemini is quite an impatient, direct energy when it comes to communication, which Mercury governs. So Mercury in the more business-like sign of Capricorn is just saying in this quincunx with Mars that we need to be very sure that we're not jumping to conclusions, making hasty assumptions, or even expressing ourselves in rather an impatient way. Also, from the middle of the week to the end of the week when they become exact, Venus edges into a conjunction with Saturn. Because they're both in the sign of Aquarius, this can be a real test for certain relationships. But for those people who are very committed and very hardworking, Saturn can help to bake in that commitment even more. So it could be a time when some people actually firm up their commitment much more. But the key to this week, of course, Mercury going direct and Uranus going direct, is that energy will start to move. And because the Sun moves on Friday into the airy sign of Aquarius, I feel that also is going to see lots more information flowing around. So I think that's very welcome. But also we are seeing some very big changes about how we live, how we interact, how we earn money, how we relate to power in general. So that's the key background to this week. If you would like to learn more about natal astrology rather than just this zodiac forecast, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can produce a 12-month forecast for you that's totally unique to you. But in my special package of 30% off, you'll also get your crucial life roadmap report. This really helps you to understand some of the patterns that you've experienced over and over in your situation. Perhaps some of these have been quite challenging. Others have given you real opportunities. If you get a more intimate understanding of those, you can steer your moves more successfully going forwards. Now, in this special package, you can also get your free 12-month general forecast in terms of your zodiac sign, but also your Chinese forecast and your Indian forecast for year 2023. Please see the link below. So Scorpio, your week commencing the 16th of January forecast suggests that something that's caused a little bit of frustration, perhaps it's been some misunderstandings with a sibling, a neighbour, some technology's proved unreliable, a domestic appliance, perhaps your mode of transport has been something that you've been thinking about or changing. Mercury retrograde can be a time to reset, recalibrate, redo. Not necessarily it's all a negative. It can be when we sort things out. So Mercury going direct and then forging that terrific angle with your North Node position in your sector of relating, that's really valuable to you. But your traditional ruler Mars is in a discordant angle to Mercury. So if you're needing to discuss something that's more practical and factual, the third house, when you feel actually very passionate about something, a conversation could still be a little bit frustrated. Also, of course, your modern ruler is combining with the sun. So I feel that you'll be very attached to your beliefs this week. So that's where Mars could cause some mischief. The new moon, however, on Saturday, following the sun's move to Aquarius on Friday, is a chance to see how far you've come in terms of reshaping your home or domestic world. Because if over the last 2 years you have been doing something practical, as Venus aligns with Saturn, that may be the more presentational and fabric and design and colour side of making your home as you wish. Or perhaps if there has been some frustrations around the emotional side of your situation in how you relate to people close to you, a lot of that electric energy was caused by Uranus's square to Saturn, and of course Uranus goes direct itself at the end of this week. So that can clear the logjam to some degree. Maybe what, pardon me, Venus and Saturn combining are also saying is that whatever is spoken, the third house energy that you're coming out of, has to really have some true meaning or true benefit to your sense of security. And so as you come to the end of this week, I feel that you could find yourself in a thoughtful place. You may want some quiet and reflection. You may want to be in nature. And if there is anyone around you who's more flamboyant, it's not that you don't like them necessarily, but just you need that peace to soothe your senses. So if you can find something to do at the end of this week, which is more tranquil, relaxing, therapeutic, it certainly would be a perfect time to embrace those things.